This week on Longshot TV.
We sat in the stand about 30 minutes and Adam nudged me and said, wow, you got a big chocolate horn buck coming, and that's him.
Deer population here in Missouri has went way down. Blue tongues hit this area.
And got lucky this morning and actually shot 11 pointers.
My father and I were looking forward to hunting with Wade and Ryan up at Tall Tine Outfitters.
This county, which is Logan County, Ohio, has the largest number of recorded deer over 200 inches.
How's it going, Mr. Jack? You put a good shot on? Congratulations.
Potential 190, 200 inch deer. I actually saw him right about dusk dark. The Longshot fishing crew is having a great 2013 season. But in the back of my mind, I can't keep forgetting about the large buck that I saw back in 2011. I've probably got maybe 75 pictures of this deer on camera in 2012. That year I never did lay my eyes on him. 2013 rolls around. I'm still excited. I know this deer was still there. Lots of pictures of this deer that we had, on the trail cams. It was mid-September, and one morning Adam said, let's go this morning. I said, well, it's raining. I don't know if we can go. I don't want to get the camera equipment wet. He looked at his radar. I looked at my radar, and we had a little opening. So we met, and we hiked probably about a half a mile back over into a little dome tent that I had set up for this deer. It just got through raining a little bit. Fog was kind of coming in through there. It was blowing in and blowing back out. We sat in the stand about 30 minutes and Adam nudged me and said, wow, you got a big chocolate horn buck coming, and that's him. I couldn't even see the deer. Adam's filming the deer out of the side of the blind, and all of a sudden I see him, and he's coming in to where we think we're going to get a great shot at him. I need him to take one or two more steps to get perfectly broadside. I pulled the bow actually back, and as I was pulling the bow and arrow back, the arrow squeaked off the side of the rest. deer knew something was wrong. He didn't know we were in there, and actually just backstroked about 20 or 30 yards, and he left view from where I could see him. Adam the whole time said, there he is, he's actually coming back. So the deer actually comes back. He knew something was wrong. The wind kind of changed around.
Before the break on Longshot TV.
We sat in the stand about 30 minutes, and Adam nudged me and said, wow, you got a big chocolate horn buck coming, and that's him. I couldn't even see the deer. Adam's filming the deer out of the side of the blind, and all of a sudden I see him, and he's coming in to where we think we're going to get a great shot at him. I needed him to take one or two more steps to get perfectly broadside. I pulled the bow actually back. The deer knew something was wrong. He didn't know we were in there, and actually just backstroked about 20 or 30 yards, and he left view from where I could see him. Adam the whole time said, there he is, he's actually coming back. So the deer actually comes back. He knew something was wrong. The wind kind of changed around.
I've been watching this deer actually for about 3 years now. I've got trail cameras, pictures of him. We finally got him to come in. It was raining this morning. We decided, what, should we go, should we not go? And Adam pressed on, said, yeah, let's go. The front looks like it's blowing east. So he was right. We got in here early this morning, got all set up. Had our ozonics, every possible, everything we had was going perfect. He came in, and the wind was blowing a little bit wrong for him, and I think he got a whiff of us. I pulled back on him one time, and he kind of heard my bow pull back, but we're going to stay with him.
And that was the last time I saw the Kaiser buck. What an incredible buck. Hunted him for 3 different years, and what an awesome deer. Got a couple more pictures of him. I think October the 4th was the last time that I got a picture of him, so I still knew that this deer was alive. Somewhere around October the 9th or so, I had heard from a good friend of mine that actually owns the shack, which is Scott Childress, that Chuck Bellamy had killed a super large deer, and I said, well, send me a picture of him. And of course he sent me a picture of him, and the first thing I did, my heart sank. I knew this was my buck, but it couldn't happen to a better man. I'm going to introduce you to Chuck Bellamy. He actually the one that ended up harvesting this deer.
I got up in the stand, I could see a big old deer standing there. It was still dark, it's not quite time, and the deer kind of eases off into the right over there, and I could see him, and I got my glasses out and I looked. And I said, oh my land, I said, I've let a monster walk away. And a few minutes later it got a little lighter, and he walks right to my corn pile, puts his head down and stands there, it seems like, for eternity. And I get the rifle on him, and he's facing me with his head down, and finally he makes that great step to the right, and bingo, he's on the ground. It's taken years to learn the process to let that little basket 8 or that nice 6, you know, if you'll let him walk. And over the years I've seen in our Lord's Hunting Club that we've let these deer walk, and now we're seeing these kind of bucks. Last year we're sitting there in a stand and a nice 6-point comes out, and
That did
Isaac,
happen.
and I let him, what you do, you let him walk because you couldn't get a good clean shot on him. So we let him walk, and this year we're still looking for him, right? This year he'll be bigger.
I really didn't have any other deer on my hit list, and I called up my father in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I said, Jack, it's time for us to head west.
Today we're in northeastern Missouri with Dave Young. The hunting is pretty good up here. We haven't shot anything yet. We're kind of holding off on a monster buck. He said there's a couple Boone and Crockett's in the area.
Before the break on Longshot TV.
He knew something was wrong. The wind kind of changed around, and that was the last time I saw the Kaiser buck. Chuck Bellamy had killed a super large deer, and I said, well, send me a picture of him.
He's facing me with his head down, and finally he makes that great step to the right, and bingo.
Today we're in northeastern Missouri with Dave Young. The hunting is pretty good up here.
After getting all settled in Missouri, my dad and I actually put out about 6 or 7 different stands. Had everything set up. Really didn't look at the property really hard. We just kind of hit the highlights of where we thought the deer were actually should be moving.
This is our 4th day. Missouri is not really producing much this year. I think the blue tongue has blue-tongued Missouri out of here.
After about a week of trail cams and not seeing any large bucks, I told my dad, I said, there's just no big bucks here. And so for the next day or so, we started scouting around.
The state of Missouri has been hit pretty hard with blue tongue. The deer population here in Missouri has went way down. Blue tongue has hit this area. A lot of the areas where there's ponds, stagnant water, I think the Missouri Department said that that's where the main, where they actually, I guess, got the disease from. Here's a pond. I just walked out of where I was hunting, and beautiful pond here, and I come across a pretty nice buck. Big 10-point.
We only had about 3 or 4 days left on the hunt before we traveled to Ohio. It was still raining a little bit. I get my first glimpse at a fairly nice deer.
We're in an area where I saw a big buck yesterday. It's starting to rain. I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to film. We'll try to coax him in with a doe bleat and a buck grunt. Well, he wasn't a monster, but he is a Missouri buck. Hit him a little bit. I think he hit him a little bit forward. Hopefully made a pretty good shot on him. Wow. Had to shoot through some brush. Filming. And filming a buck solo hunting is tough. Looked like the swacker did his job. Trail him up. I guess we can probably find him with the swack. the Swag Master.
Had a tough time, found a lot of dead deer. Blue tongue has been pretty rampant up here. We changed farms from the farm that we are on and got lucky this morning and actually shot 11 pointer. He's probably a 3.5-year-old deer. Not the biggest deer I've ever shot, but he probably weighs at least a couple 100 pounds. But made a good shot on him, solo hunting in northeastern Missouri.
Well, after ending on a positive note there in Missouri, my father and I were looking forward to hunting with Wade and Ryan up at Tall Tine Outfitters.
This county, which is Logan County, Ohio, has the largest number of recorded deer over 200 inches. And they're definitely up here. They've got a lot of great places up here. And so stay tuned. Longshot TV, signing out. Over.
On Longshot TV.
Deer population here in Missouri has went way, way down. Blue tongue has hit this area. Beautiful pond here. And I come across a pretty nice buck.
And got lucky this morning and actually shot 11 pointer.
My father and I were looking forward to hunting with Wade and Ryan up at Tall Tine Outfitters.
This county, which is Logan County, Ohio, has the largest number of recorded deer over 200 inches. I got a big 10-pointer that's sleeping about 60 yards from me.
After about the third day, we had a cold front that was actually expected to come in with wind chill factors right around the 0 mark, with the temperature being in the teens. My dad, who's 79, doesn't really like to hunt in cold weather. He had to leave on that Saturday, so I think it was about, like I said, about the third day into the hunt. He had a pretty nice deer that actually came by. He got a good view of it. And then he said it came back by him a second time, and after the second time, it presented him a pretty good shot.
How's it going, Mr. Jack? You put a good shot on?
I think I did.
Okay.
But I passed on him the first time.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was marginal.
Yeah.
And he came back again about an hour later, and I put down 4 points on one side, and I thought it might have been that 10 point.
That's not the monster, but it's a nice 10 we got on camera. Oh, he's been dead a while. Congratulations
Well, thanks.
on a nice deer. We're glad we could get you a buck. When was the last time you took one?
In Iowa.
In Iowa? How long ago was that?
It's been 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Well, I'm glad to see you could get back at it, put another great shot on one.
They just cut a big, huge cornfield just that way. I don't know if it's northeast, southwest, who knows. All the great hunters know, they give you the directions. All I know, it's that way. But anyway, and Wade said the dead end area is that way. So he's got me way, way back in here. He promised me there was some big ones here, so we'll see. And I'm just going to enjoy a wonderful evening hunt here in November. Trust me, I was wanting to take some meat home, but I just thought it was probably a young one since the deer up here are so big.
Lo and behold, the deer that him and Ryan were talking about, a potential 190, 200-inch deer, I actually saw him right about dusk dark. Got my camera on him, got some pretty good footage of him, but I don't know if you've ever got a chance to see a deer in the mid-190s. An incredible sight. It was just a blessing to be up there at Tall Tine hunting. After that great encounter with that buck, the weather turned bad, and it got miserably cold.
Seen a lot of deer this morning. It's been windy, really windy. I guess 15 to 20 knots or miles an hour.
And so that actually ended up, my time was actually up in Ohio. Had a great hunt with Tall Tine Outfitters, Wade Long and Ryan Thompson up in Logan, Ohio. What an incredible time. I look forward to 2014 season up there. What a great place they actually had. And congratulations, Jack, once again on a great buck that you killed. I'm proud to be your son.
Want to find out more about Longshot TV? Look us up on the following. Special thanks goes out to our friends and partners at Country Boy Outfitters.